All right, welcome to the Third Quarter Warriors podcast. The Third Quarter Warriors are the best team ever, and we are the best podcast ever. Happy Monday, everybody. We're going to help you start your week out right because on today's episode, we dive into Luka suing his mom, the new NBA in-season tournament format, and just the weirdness of it. Russ staying in LA, and J.R. Smith claiming to be blackballed from the NBA. I'm John Whitaker, and these are our co-hosts, Ant, VVS, and my brother Kenneth.
Welcome to the third quarter, everybody.
What is this? What is going on right now?
I said, what the hell are you talking about?
What's my package look like? Yo! Let's start with the Luka story about suing his mom. I don't really understand this situation at all. Like, she trademarked, I guess, when he was a minor or something, Luka Doncic 7. And so he's suing her because he wants the rights to it. But I'm just like, it's your mom. Like, and also, can't you just, like, not use Luka Doncic 7? Like, that's not even a cool trademark. Like, I just don't understand why he's suing her. And I think that Mark Cuban has to be behind this because he's the business mind and he's best friends with Luka. He's his owner. And I think that Mark Cuban was like, nah, bro, like, we need that trademark. Sue yo mama.
Why didn't he just do Luka Doncic 7-7?
I don't know.
Why he's got to do 7? He's not even number 7.
I don't know. I just feel like you have to be able to settle an issue with your mother. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Call yourself like Luka Skywalker. That's way cooler than just like your name and then your number. Like, just come up with a better brand. And like, you really argue with your mom so much that you're gonna sue her. Like, there must be something more.
Yeah, Luka Skywalker is a really tough nickname, but I don't think he could actually use that because I think Star Wars would come for him.
What? But work with them.
Oh. Maybe he could be the next.
Bro, you know how cold those shoes would be?
Like yeah. The Galaxy would be like LaMelo Ball kind of theme shoes, you know.
Bro, and the 7-7 on the shoe could be just like lightsabers, like 7-7. Just like,
I mean, shoot.
Call us right now. His VR team, low key.
he could get Brian's wall put on the backside of it too, like stars.
Get some stars in there.
Oh yeah, that's fire, BBS. That's
Get
true.
some wars in there. Put like, I don't know, like Gettysburg guy. What's that? What's the Stonewall Jackson? Put like Stonewall Jackson on there for the stars and then Stonewall.
I'm always scared to bring in like Civil War generals because every time they're brought up, everyone's like they were racist. I'm like, I'm pretty sure everyone was racist then. So
yeah, like the people that fought for not slavery, I'm on their side. That's what
Bro, apparently a bunch of the northern generals just had slaves too, but they were just like, yeah, we'll give them up. We shouldn't have, like, the fact that's almost worse that they're like, this is terrible, we shouldn't have them, but we're gonna keep them unless it's like illegal.
Until someone says something about it.
I think Luka, like, how do you even sue your mom? Like, how does that go? Like, does his mom even live in America?
I just think that there has to be more going on than just the brand thing. Like, they have to have a history of disliking each other because and the fact also that she isn't willing to like work with her son on this. Like, yeah, I did it early, maybe just like because he was younger and like didn't know how to do stuff like that, and she like saw the future of him being really good, but like it's your son now, like let him take his brand and do what he wants with it at the same time.
How is it just now happening? Also, is he number 7 internationally? Is that it? Because I still don't.
He was 7.
No, actually.
Because does he have even like Luka Doncic 7 on anything of his right now? Like, is that just something he's? What?
The thing I can think of it ruining is like when he gets his 7th like signature shoe. But like it's the Luka 1, the Luka 2. He's got one right now with Jordan Brand.
He just needs to do Luka 6, 6.7, then 8.
Yeah,
like 6.7 to just a spin off of the 6s, and he skips 7.
Or instead of Luka 7, he could do Luka 6.9.
He was number 7.
6.99 rounded up like is 7, so I like that.
Yeah.
He was number 7 in Real Madrid. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I feel like it's an international brand thing opposed to like, well, not international, like their national brand thing.
Yeah.
I don't think that's even his thing here. Or what is his?
I mean, he's just like, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand it. Like, what are you suing about? Like, I don't understand what you're asking for her to do. Just does she even make money just having? What does trademarking Luka Doncic 7 do? I don't know.
That doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
That's like these Twitch streamers being like, "Oh, you have my name that I want, and I'm just gonna pay you off to get it." They weren't even using it. They're not even taking advantage of it. They're just gonna make money because
it's like
me
trademarking John Whitaker 33 and then just being like, "Yeah, that's mine," and they're like, "Well, what are you doing with it?" And I'm like, "It's mine."
Did y'all hear that the reason that the Washington football team was named the football team for 2 years is because one guy like went and trademarked all of the rumored names.
Oh yeah,
Washington.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, they were like when it was like the Warhawks or whatever, all of them. He just like trademarked like all 30.
He trademarked Red Tails, Red Wolves. He trademarked all these things. So they were trying to wait it out, and then they just chose Commanders, which is.
I respect it. I respect that guy.
Yeah.
You know how he probably would have just. He probably would have just accepted like $100K for the name, and then we could have just.
I think he was asking for like $2 billion, which is like a lot, but
you
like
didn't do anything. You just beat us to the punch.
I would have done it too. Like
Snyder is a billionaire, bro.
Yeah, and Snyder sucks. Like he's a bad person. He just try to take his money. Like why not?
It was definitely an Eagles fan.
Let's move on to the NBA end season tournament. This was announced like a couple days ago. Can someone explain to me, like, do one of you guys have you guys read an article about, like, I don't understand what it is. All I'm seeing is it starts in November, which I don't understand that. A tournament is starting in November, and then it's an 8-team final in December, and then that's a single elimination. So like 8 teams that like played the best in November tournament make it to the December final, and there's like, I guess, like 4 or 5 games or whatever to the championship. So I don't understand what this is. What do you win? Why do you want to do it?
Yeah, like I agree with you. They didn't, like, I'm looking at it again for the framework, and I'm like, well, what is the incentive? Like, I get it that we're still it's 8. What is it? 8 teams advance to the
everyone play though to start, and then the top 8 make it to the December tournament, which is just 8 teams.
Yeah, but what are they winning?
I don't know.
They're just what are we doing?
It's like, well, also wouldn't that like completely change the games that you actually play, because you're going to play like if everyone's still supposed to play the same amount of games, whoever qualifies for that, your schedule could be completely shifted because you're playing these teams, and then these other teams who are scheduled to play you are now having to play the people that didn't make it during that time period. So the schedules are going to have to get shifted throughout the season. So essentially the bad teams could be playing the bad teams all year and make the playoffs because they have a better record because they played bad teams all year.
And is it like 4 West, 4 East teams make it in December, or like is it going to be like 7 West teams and 1 East team in the that are playing, and then like no one in the West is playing in regular? Like, it doesn't make sense. I need more explanation. I was excited about the concept because I thought it was going to be like the winning team gets like $10 million or something to split amongst players, and I was like, that's really cool, but I don't even know what this is. I guess they want us to be excited about it, like you're excited about winning an NBA championship, but this doesn't feel important at all. It's like not even as important as winning a Christmas Day game. I'd rather win a Christmas Day game than win this.
Also
tournament.
That means these would be played over Christmas.
I don't know.
Yeah, like what I'm most confused about is like, are they like, is this going to be like a legit tournament where there are no other games going on while it's going on? Because if that's the case, like,
it's just normal.
So they're just normal games, but they're just called tournament games. So the rest of the NBA doesn't pause. Like it's just a regular game.
I think that the November games, like there's no regular season games. It's all the tournament, and then based on how you do, the top 8 go in December. Single elimination, obviously seeded 1 through 8, and then you win your game, you advance. You win your game, you're in the championship. So it's like 3 rounds, and then like that's the whole thing. I need like a better incentive though. Like you got to be guaranteed like a top 3 seed or something in the playoffs if you win it, or in my opinion, or something cool.
Yeah, it's gotta be something, because there's no reason for it. I mean, we win the game, great. We don't win the game, we just keep going to the regular season. Like there's no incentive.
Yeah.
Just nothing.
So there's not that many more games. If there's 8 teams,
it's still 82 games for everybody.
No, I'm saying there's not that. I'm saying like it wouldn't actually shift that much around if it's only a max of 3 games for 2 of the teams.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So it would like it's not like a best of 3 series per round. It's just like a knockout tournament to where if you win 2, you're in the finals. So it would just be 3 total games you'd have to reschedule it. But it's also they're doing it over like prime holiday time where they're probably like, we can get so many viewers during this.
I feel like right now we're saying it's dumb, and then like the Clippers are gonna win, and BVS is gonna be like, K. Leonard is the GOAT, the first ever champion of the in-season tournament. Can't stop him.
This is what's gonna happen.
Kawhi is the GOAT, and y'all are about to see they're gonna win the championship this year. Like y'all don't believe yet. But John Wall, Johnny Dub's going to come back and body everyone. He's going to be like 2015. When was the last time that guy played? 20-something John Wall. And Kawhi is always Kawhi. And then PG, Ant says it better than anyone. Most complete player in the NBA.
Ever.
The
role players on their team too.
I feel like this is going to happen. Brian's going to be happy about this. Then the Clippers are going to tank the second half, have to do the play-in, win the play-in tournament, and then they're also going to win the whole tournament. So he's going to get 3 wins, and Brian's just going to be so lit.
Also, I think the play-in tournament is. I don't think it's good. I think they should.
No, I love the play-in.
Like it's cool, but like at this point, 70% of the NBA makes the playoffs. It's kind of like you have to be tanking not to make the playoffs.
Like 50%. Oh, you're talking about that. But that's not even the playoff. I like it because every year there's gonna be a game that decides if one team or a different one makes the playoffs. I like that. Like before, like the end of the season was just like, it doesn't really matter. Like our rankings are already placed, but like there's always that 8 and 9 and 10 seeds that are like, we have to win a game or we don't make the playoffs. Like I kind of like that concept.
Also,
we wouldn't have gotten the Patrick Beverly crying meme.
That's what I was going to say. Like that's crazy. Not having that. That was like a highlight of the playoffs.
I forgot about that.
I think it makes the more separated like rankings. Like the what is it? The 7 or through 10 will make it. So they're going to play the 1 and the 2. I think it makes those series more competitive because they've already played some games that are like. What's it called? High pressure, and they're like in the playoff atmosphere. So when a 1 plays at 8, it's not just a sweep; it's a more competitive series. But I mean, I'm sure we'll still see sweeps, but I think it just puts them in the mood to like compete better.
Yeah,
I can see that.
KD got swept, so we're seeing sweeps.
Oh yeah, that was. I was happy about that.
Yeah, KD sucks. Moving on though. I don't really know how you can guarantee this, but Brian Windhurst, who is the guy that was like, what is going on in Utah? What is Utah doing? And everyone's like, bro, I don't know. Tell us. So he came out and was like, announced that Russ will not be traded this season from LA. And I don't know how you can announce that. You're telling me if Russ comes out and shoots 20% from 3 and 20% from the field and averages 8 turnovers, they're not going to try to shop him again? I guarantee they'll try to trade him. Like he could play well, but like he came out and announced that. Like just you can't announce that. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, what if another team was like, I don't know, we really want him. Here's 3 great draft picks and 2 stars.
What if someone was like, no, here's 1 role player?
I have a hot take, man.
If someone was like, we will take his contract, the Lakers would be like, please.
They don't even get him. They'll just take the contract and drop. They just want to see the Lakers win. And what's your hot take?
I think it's going to work out. I am going to hop on the Russ bandwagon.
Wow.
I'm going to hop on it, man.
Oh, how the timetables have turned.
Oh, my God.
Dude, I think it's going to work out.
I got to hear this. Go ahead, man.
Elaborate.
Yeah.
I think I think that Patrick Beverly will be a good spot up shooter for them, right? He actually shoots about 45% from three, 43 around that. I really think Russ is gonna learn to shoot this year. I think that he will go back to that like Wizards-esque kind of player. I think he's gonna fit in, and I think he's gonna really run the show. I think he's gonna buy into his role. I think it's gonna work.
So I want Russ to do really well. I'm a Lakers fan, but how can you say that he's gonna play like he was on the Wizards? He just did everything every possession, but they have hopefully AD, and then they have LeBron. How does that even make sense? Russ is never gonna be that guy on the Lakers.
You don't think so? I think that LeBron. I think LeBron is going to not take a step back. I think he's going to like usher in Anthony Davis to be like, hey, like this is your team. I cannot do this forever. And I think with that being said, Russ will see, hey, I know that LeBron is sacrificing with AD because I learned that I didn't really pay attention that much. They didn't play that much together. AD, LeBron, and Russ all at once because everybody was hurt all the time. So I really do think that with that addition with AD, it's going to be good pick and roll with those two. LeBron's not going to have to do as much, and he will kind of have that like north-south esque Wizards game where he just goes off the pick with AD, throwing in lobs, like dancing and shit. I think it's going to work.
I think if see Russ dancing. Sorry, go ahead, Casey.
I think if anything, it'll be him buying into more of a distributor role. I know dude averages 10 assists just because he has the ball in his hand 80% of the game. But I think from like an actual point guard standpoint, there's going to be less pressure this year because, dude, they couldn't win a game last year, and that was half of the pressure of him just playing bad. They were fighting for playoffs, and they weren't even getting close, and then everyone was talking trash about him. I just think a fresh start, like a new year, he's going to come out with a different mindset. And, I mean, everyone looks at highlights during the summer, but he's been getting it this summer. I've seen some stuff that he's actually been like working on jump shots and like more of like situational plays with some of the Lakers coaches, and I think it could be good if anything.
Yeah, he's Russ. I think he's too stubborn to really learn how to play differently at this point in his career. Honestly, like he's been this way for so long. I don't think it's going to be much different. The only way I see this working out is if Russ is okay playing like 20, 25 minutes a night. Like, honestly, I think that's the best case scenario for the Lakers. But I just wanted to follow this up because I had to recheck this. Patrick Beverly is not a 45% three-point shooter. He's like 34% last year. So
34, my bad.
Yeah.
That's way different. Don't say it sarcastically. That's way different.
Huge difference. That's like top 5 versus like top 150. Okay, so I had to get that out of the way. But Russ
was 43 though, right? Russ was 43% 3-point.
I think that might have been his free throw percentage.
But close to 43. But yeah, I don't have faith that Russ is going to play well. I think Russ's best case scenario is like going to some team. I think Russ would be great on like the Kings, a team that just needs to make the playoffs just to like get something good for their franchise. I don't think he's going to move the needle for the Lakers, but I'm a hater, so maybe I'm just wrong.
Yeah. We'll move on to the next topic, but I definitely think that I want Russ to do well. I don't think that he sucks like everyone else says that he does. He turns the ball over way too much though, and he doesn't shoot well, but I still think he's an asset just because he has played so much basketball, and I've seen him play really well, so I just have to believe he's going to do well if he's on my roster. But anyway, next topic. J.R. Smith thinks that Joe Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, Nick Young, and Jamal Crawford have been blackballed from the NBA, meaning like for some reason NBA GMs won't sign them. And I'm like, J.R. Smith, you literally rode your career out as long as possible. You didn't even play hardly on your championship run. he should be grateful for his career. Like when he got a championship with the Lakers, I don't know what he's talking about for that. And on top of that, he's literally a college golfer now. Like he quit basketball and started golfing in college at like a D1 school. What do you mean you got blackballed? No one wants you because you're a college golfer. And then, I mean, Joe Johnson, he played a really long time too. He's like a professional yoga instructor now. I don't know if you guys are hip to that, but
Joe Johnson's like insanely fit now. He's like ripped. It's crazy.
Isaiah Thomas, he got a lot of opportunities and never played well when he got them. Nick Young never was very good, never lived up to what people thought he was going to be. And Jamal Crawford played for like 97 years in the NBA and was a sixth man of the year like 100 times. So I don't know what he's talking about. They got blackballed. Like, no, you turn 40 and you can't get on a roster anymore. That's how basketball works. Like, I was just so confused why he would say that. Like, he definitely just wants to start a movement for him to get back in the league like people did for Melo, I feel like, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I think you see younger guys and you're like, I'm better than this guy. But that's not it, man. You're 40. You bring in this. You have an attitude. They can't talk to you a certain way. Like you're already established, and so you might mess up that culture that's already there. Like that's why LeBron is the one who brings in vets. Who else kind of brings in vets? The Clippers, maybe. Not really. They're kind of like tweeners. They got young and old, but like. I don't know. LeBron don't want you anymore, so you're done. That's just me. LeBron don't want you. You're probably done.
You should have put the ball back up when you got the rebound in the finals, but also, I think like what you just said, Ant, they're bringing in these new people. Yeah, you might be better than them for the next year or two, but that's why they're building. Like you can't bring in you can't build if you don't bring in new guys or young guys. Like you can build for a temporary team, like he's saying, but that's not what they're looking to do. Especially the teams he's wanting to play on. He's saying like he's being blackballed, but he's also like, well, I'll only play for the Lakers, the Clippers, and the Suns. And you're like, well, done it. They already have their veterans.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think especially players like J.R. Smith. Like J.R. Smith was a pretty one-dimensional player his whole career. Like he was just a shoot at will type guy. And like at a certain point, if you're like a scorer primarily, like you got to learn to do something else or you're just not going to be useful past like most players like 34 35 years old. Like you just kind of lose your athleticism, you lose some skill over time, you lose some elevation and your shot gets a little worse. Like you just aren't as good of a player anymore. And I think that's why guys like Iguodala are so valuable for so long, because they accept that they're a role player and they're not entirely dependent on doing one thing to be good. Like, and Jamal Crawford, I don't know why that guy's upset. I think he literally played till he was 40 years old. Like, I don't know what he wanted.
Well, didn't he play until J.R. Smith said this, so it could be him speaking for these guys, and they're probably like, "Bro, why he bring my name up?" I don't know. I didn't research it that much, but I think just J.R. is saying that these guys got blackballed.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Jamal Crawford, he retired. He was probably 39 when he retired.
Didn't he retire?
He was 39, right, Brian? I think he was 39.
Yeah.
Did he not play on a team at some point last year?
I
think the last team he played for was the Suns. The last team he played for was the Suns.
Jamal Crawford?
I don't think he played
the Nets. His last season was the Nets. He played one game in 2019.
Okay, 2019, yeah.
One game. So then he played for the Suns the year before that in 2018. Yeah. But I just thought that was really weird. And like Jamal Crawford has his own league now. Joe Johnson has his own yoga brand where like he's ISO Joe on Instagram. Look him up. He does some crazy flexibility things. Isaiah Thomas can't get on the roster because
Isaiah Thomas, like that. It's just, I mean, he was great for a while. He just got a bunch of injuries and it caught up to him.
Yeah.
Like, it just happens with some players.
Like he got,
and he's 4'6".
Yeah, if you're gonna be his size, you have to be shifty and faster than everyone. And when he got like 2 hip surgeries, you're not shifty and faster than everyone anymore.
Yeah, like
I wake up on the wrong side of bed. I can barely walk down the stairs. I can't imagine having 2 hip surgeries.
Nah, bro, you got blackballed from the NBA, low key.
Oh, I did. They were like, we can't take any non-elevating left-handed shooters. And you're white, you got to elevate them. Like, can't do that anymore.
Yeah, that's messed up.
all
All right,
Take
Ant's
care.
got to go. He's got a prior commitment, so we're gonna say goodbye to Ant. Have a good one, Ant.
Get it?
Peace.
Okay, let's move on to embrace debate. This is just one I randomly came up with, and I thought it would be kind of a funny question, interesting topic. Who is the better Henny athlete, J.R. Smith or Marshawn Lynch? Marshawn Lynch said he used to take a shot of Henny before his games. I imagine J.R. Smith has been
And
drunk.
at halftime.
Yeah, I imagine J.R. Smith has been drunk at least on the bench at some point or taken some shots. He's famously, when they won the championship, like didn't wear his shirt for 2 months and was just always had a bottle of Henny in his hand. So who do you guys think is the more iconic Henny athlete, J.R. Smith or Marshawn Lynch? Casey, you can go first.
I think Marshawn Lynch, but I think due to social media, like, and how they hyped up J.R. Smith with no shirt JR and everything for a long time, he would probably be the first thought on most people. But I think Marshawn Lynch that dude looks crazy, man. When he talks and like just looks into the camera, I'm like, oh my god! No wonder no one could tackle you, bro. You are insane. I think he would probably be.
Marshawn, that guy, beast mode Skittles. That was peak NFL. That run was insane. But I think it's got to be JR. Like JR is just you see that guy and you know he sweats Henny. Like that guy is wild. So I'm going JR for sure.
Okay.
I think the Skittles were the chaser for the Henny.
Yeah, like I think Marshawn Lynch is Skittles, J.R. Smith is Henny.
I think if we're talking from a marketing standpoint, I'll go with JR as well, just because he like wanted to be public about telling people that he does that, and people didn't really know that about Marshawn. Like it's not like it surprised us very much, but he just had like an interview with Peyton Manning and was like, yeah, you trying to take a shot, or like, did you ever take any shots? And he's like, yeah. Oh, you're talking about before the game of alcohol? And he's like, yeah. And so no one really knew that, but JR, it's pretty public that dude just parties all the time. But yeah, I'll probably go with JR as well.
Bro, Peyton Manning didn't drink before games. What?
I know, what?
I thought he would. I thought he was like down in handle.
I mean, maybe he was, but he just don't want to admit it. He is.
No, it wasn't liquor. It was straight Budweisers or something. Whatever he drinks.
Oh yeah, he got paid I think $2 million when he won a Super Bowl to be like, I'm gonna go and sit back and have a nice Budweiser or something.
Yeah, Bud Light.
Anyway, moving on to Yeet Culture. This is a segment where I effectively cancel someone or a thing because of one single thing that recently happened. As you guys know, I am a LeBron lover, but LeBron has been doing something for years that I like just kind of picked up on, and it's kind of grinding my gears a little bit. So LeBron, every time there's a young athlete that accomplishes something amazing, most recently Francis Tiafoe beat Rafael Nadal in the US Open, up and coming tennis player, LeBron just calls them a young king, like with the crown emoji and the lion emoji, pretty much saying, obviously he's King James, he's saying like, you remind me of me. So like every time a young athlete accomplishes like an amazing feat, he's like, yeah, that's like me when I was younger. Like that's pretty much what he's saying by saying like, oh, you're young king, you're young me. I'm like, that's just toxic, bro. Like, you can't just claim everything. Like an athlete like sets a world record in track and like, oh yeah, that's young king right there. Like, no, it's not, bro. That's just a guy that's a really good athlete. That's not you. It has nothing to do with you.
Wow. Never thought I'd see LeBron on Yeet Culture. Wow.
Yeah, bro. He's got to chill with that, bro. He's claiming Francis Tiafoe's success.
Francis Tiafoe, that dude. He beat Nadal, right?
Yeah, and then he just lost to Carlos Alcaraz last night.
Well, is he young?
Alcaraz is 19.
Oh,
yeah.
Tiafoe's like mid-20s, I think. But he's still really young, yeah. But I think Alcaraz is going to be, when it's all said and done, he's going to be up there with like Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic in Grand Slams, because he is like, he's 19 and he's better than any of them were in their early 20s even. Like, he's insane.
He's not American, right?
No, he's from Spain.
We don't get good. We got Serena.
We actually have some good tennis players though, but they're just not like, we haven't won a major. I mean, a Grand Slam, like meaning the U.S. Open, Wimbledon, any of those four
Open,
tournaments in like 5 years, I don't think. And there's 3 or 4 per year. So we just
Who's like the best American tennis player of all time? Do you
of
guys
all
know?
time.
Or like of recent history, or like just a really good one whose like name I would.
You would know like Pete Sampras,
Oh, he was American. Okay.
Do you know
Andre
Do you know
Agassi.
John Isner?
John Eisner. Yeah.
John Isner has like the best serve of all time, and
Okay.
he's like 6'10" or something,
Oh wow. Yeah.
and he just wins games by serving.
Yeah.
Oops.
It'll be like this is random. This is sort of goes into my betting, but like there's like bets on like how many serves they'll have like aces per like set or per match, like the whole overall the whole, and like most are like 5.5, 6.5, 7.5 or more, and then his come in at like 17.5, 18.5. Like those, that's all.
Yeah.
He just gets aces.
He's not great at like rallying, but like you can't return his serve, and he gets it in so well. And it like he just serves like 140 miles an hour, just outside or inside, and you're like, I can't get to it, so you just win that.
His matches are probably like the fastest.
He did play the longest ever match because there was for at Wimbledon, which is where it has the fastest surface. So if you hit a fast serve, it doesn't bounce up high on the grass, and so he had the longest ever match. It lasted like it was like three different days they had to play it across, and it went to the tiebreaker in game. So you have to win the 5th set by 2 games, and so it went to like 76-74 or something before it ended. So because he just kept holding serve, like he would win his service game, and then he couldn't beat the other guy's service game, and then finally he beat him. He like broke the guy, and he won. And it was just like, I think it was like a 16-hour match or something.
Oh my god, that sounds. The other guy was probably just like, man, just get me out of here, man.
I know. Like at some point you're at like 40-40, and you're like, what are we doing? Just it's got to end soon, right?
Especially if you can't return the guy's serve, that has to be so demoralizing.
Yeah.
Like it was like you feel great about yourself when you're serving, but like you're like, I won the point, but I am about to lose this next one. And
It's probably like, man, I do this every time. I don't care if I should return.
Yeah, he definitely. It's like when you practice your golf swing at the range a lot, and you're just like you're hitting every ball perfect, and he's like just serving, just like he's practicing at this. He probably had a bunch of games where he just like 4 aces in a row, and then they move on to the next game. Like I feel like that probably happened a bunch.
also, remember Andy Roddick, Brian? Andy Roddick, Andre Agassi, Pete Sampras.
None of the GOATs though. Like the big 3 right now, Nadal, Djokovic, and Federer. Like the reason no Americans have won any Grand Slams is because one of them pretty much wins every Grand Slam every year.
Andre Agassi wasn't one of the like best of all time.
No, he was, but like
Like when you're talking about like
you wouldn't call him the GOAT. Like he's maybe in someone's top 5.
he would have been like top 1 or 2 like all time when these guys were coming because they hadn't passed him in like total Grand Slams. But now like that they're still playing 10 years later, like
all three of them are better than Agassi in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's more like a trailblazer though, like a Magic Johnson. That's like, wow, that guy's great.
Okay, I see.
Anyway, moving on to Nuketown 24/7. This segment is Kenneth and Anthony's time to update us on the world of sports betting, what plays they're nuking, have nuked, and much more. Kenneth, you got anything for the people in the gambling world?
I wouldn't say gambling, but I do have I've been out with COVID, so I haven't done a single bit of research of anything. I've been dead. But just the fact that football's back, there's going to be a lot of, I already have some content I'm preparing for a lot of posts, like getting back on the Twitter spaces and whatnot. And I will do anything if Alabama loses today to Texas. So
is there any, I guess, let's see, football happens tomorrow, so I guess it wouldn't really be helpful, but I'm just interested. Is there any like receivers or running backs you have your eye on in fantasy, like you think are going to have a really good season? That like maybe are slept on, like obviously Derrick Henry's gonna have a good season.
Yeah, no, I think he's gonna have. I think a guy that's, I mean, if he stays healthy, he's literally their only running back. Sanders for the Eagles. He actually was cleared to play this week full load, and with Jalen Hurts running around, he can just run it. I think he's gonna catch more this year than he is gonna be like just a power back. I think him, and then let's see. You actually, I think, have him in one of our leagues, Swift for the Lions.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think he's going to have a pretty dominant year. I mean, who do they have? They have Golf now, right?
Yeah, they have golf still.
Yeah, he's really
Yeah,
good.
he's just going to dump it off. He's not. He does not throwing downfield. Like, you're like, catch it, please.
I need to watch. I didn't watch Hard Knocks. I haven't watched it. I've watched it like one time ever, but Hard Knocks is really cool, and they did it for the Lions this year, and their coach is Dan Campbell, who is just, I don't know if you guys know who Dan Campbell is, but he's just like the biggest football guy ever. Like cries like every episode, cries when he has to cut a player, like, and just the most just like, I'm gonna be in the office 18 hours a day type football guy, and he's just so funny. I need to watch Hard Knocks of him, but I need to just maybe see some of my fantasy players on there as well.
Yeah. What do you think of Jalen Hurts? Do you think he's a good quarterback? Like everyone seems to think he's going to play good fantasy wise, but I've seen him play and I thought he was like okay last year, but I mean, it was his first year starting. Like, what do you guys think of Jalen Hurts?
I remember specifically seeing, like, I don't remember what game it was, but he like got pulled last year, and he just like was kind of on the sideline like pouting, but it was because he had played really bad and they just didn't want him to get injured and their season was like over, and he was just like pouting, like OBJ type like bad attitude, and I was just like, I just haven't seen any quarterbacks that act like children. Like even though he's young, I haven't seen any good quarterbacks that act like children like that. But I mean, they just got freaking AJ Brown, who's like the most efficient receiver like of all time, like doesn't drop the ball, literally gets open every route. And then they also have Devontae Smith, who's like maybe like the most like diverse receiver in the league. Like that dude can run every route, is the fastest person on the field, and that's Tyreek Hill's on the field with him. And so I mean, I think he should have a really good year. He can extend plays, and he has two guys that can run anywhere on the field to get open. So if he can throw it to him,
I
think
that, and like I just said, Miles just breaking off after a pass block real quick, and then also guy that's he's undervalued a lot, I feel like, but he's actually like a massive target is Goddard. Goddard's like actually a really good downfield runner, and he's hard to tackle. He's like a Gronk, like he's big. Yeah, so, and it's just a good target, easy target to dump it off to.
Yeah, I thought Goddard was good last year too. Goddard. How do you say his name? Is it Goddard?
I say Goddard. Also, what's that? What's the Lions receiver? He's supposed to be really good. It's like Amon-Ra or something.
St. Brown. Yeah, I was.
Yeah, he's supposed to have a really good year.
Yeah, I saw he was ranked so high on all the fantasy things, and it was because the last like 6 or 7 games of last year, he was catching like 10 passes a game. I was like,
yeah. Whoa. And they don't have. Do they have Galladay this year? They don't have.
Galladay's on the Giants.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. So I mean, yeah, he's literally their only target.
Yeah.
I want you guys to keep your eyes out for Treylon Burks. He is the Titans' second receiver right now. He's a rookie who like has looked great in the preseason and looked great in training camp and all that stuff. The only receiver in front of him is Robert Woods, who like just never really has been that consistent. So I think Treylon Burks is gonna have just a great rookie year, and it's not because I drafted him in the 14th round. I'm really confident in him.
Robert Woods is he's really good. He just gets injured a lot. What I'm waiting for is Tannehill to, for whatever reason, not be able to play a game, because Malik Willis, he looked really good in the preseason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, is Tannehill the Titans quarterback?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Malik Willis. Like I saw some preseason highlights. That guy was going. I was like, wait a second. He was like a 3rd or 4th round pick. Like, why didn't the Commanders draft him? But it is what it is. We don't draft good players.
This is the last thing on football I'm gonna say, but UNC played. We beat Appalachian State like 63-61, I think. Appalachian State actually had the most points in the fourth quarter. They scored like 40 points in the fourth quarter to come back, and like we were up by 20 something, and they scored like 40, and they ended up still losing by 2. But we have a quarterback that is Luke May's brother. Luke May played basketball for UNC a couple years ago, and he's Luke May's brother. He's a freshman, and he's already in Heisman consideration because like he he just scores a ton of points. He's a lot like Sam Howell was when he was at UNC, just scoring a lot of points. So keep an eye out for UNC to start being the new quarterback powerhouse of the ACC and the NCAA as a whole.
What's the guy's name?
Something May, Maye, UNC quarterback.
Okay.
I can't remember his first name.
Is it Sam?
It's Drake May.
That's fire. Drake may be the GOAT.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
Wait, they allowed 40 points in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, no. How does that happen?
I don't know. There's this one play where the Appalachian State, it's towards the end of the game, obviously, tried to kick an onside kick to UNC. I mean, they like get the ball back, obviously, and all of UNC's got, so they like bombard the ball like Appalachian State does, like you're supposed to do, and just truck all the returners. All of UNC's returners level out every Appalachian State player, and there's just like a screenshot, and all the Appalachian State guys are on their back, and all the UNC guys are just standing up. They're like, yeah, that didn't go as planned. That's the difference in a high major D1.
And he returned it.
Yeah, the dude returned it to score, which ended up being like a bad play because it gave them the ball back. But anyway,
That's he had. Oh, he runs a lot too. Okay.
yeah, keep in mind they played Appalachian State. But
Yeah.
but he was highly recruited. I'm pretty sure he committed to UNC like a while ago. That was just like his dream school.
63-61 was the finals.
Yeah, I mean we're not good enough. Like we'll play against a team that has like if we ever played against Georgia in some different universe, we would lose. Like we'd maybe score once because their defense is insane. But like against normal high major defenses, I think we can put up a lot of points and then let them score a lot of points too.
Breaking news.
Oh, okay.
Logan Thomas is playing season opener for the Commanders.
Let's go. I'm about to pick him up.
I know everyone went straight to their phone.
I have Kyle Pitts though, so I should be good, bro. Go.
Yeah, I got Kelsey. I'm fine, but
Yeah, I've got it. So
is that guy we drafted? Is he second on our tight end depth chart, or do we have another guy?
Bro, remember that guy that was from Cuba that was like the insane athlete that he played like one play, and I think he played because Logan Thomas got hurt, his backup got hurt, and his backup got hurt, and they're like, I guess we're playing the Cuban guy that's never played organized football. And he was just out there, and he looked like he didn't know what he was doing. He was just like, he looked in place, but if you watched his movement and stuff, you were like, that guy's just pushing people because he thinks that's where he's supposed to go. He's like not blocking. Like,
Cole Turner's the guy I'm talking about. I have not seen him play at all, but he's big, and they said he was a receiving tight end when we drafted him. He's 6'6".
yeah, he's third on the roster right now for tight end.
Oh, he's got long hair. Oh, that's like +7 toughness.
But he's got a hamstring injury, I guess. So
minus.
We drafted
-9.
we drafted a tight end back-to-back years.
yeah, this guy was like a 5th round pick or something. Though he wasn't there. I really hope Jahan is as good as people are saying he is. We only have 4. No, okay, we have 6 receivers. And De'Ami Brown, I hope he's good too. Did he even play last year?
Forgot we have Curtis Samuels.
We actually have a lot of receivers. Like, is De'Ami Brown gonna
Bro,
play?
we have the best receiving core that Carson Wentz has ever had.
I need to think about that.
Well, I mean, his best when he was on the Eagles, didn't he just have like Deshaun Jackson?
He didn't even have
And
them
then-
for half the year.
And then Zach Ertz is obviously better than whoever our tight end is, but like,
Zach Ertz, like Jalen Rager, I guess he had.
that guy sucks.
We probably do have the best receiving core he's ever had because we also have McKissick. Who
We got freaking Terry McLaurin, bro. Now that's automatically
Wait,
the best
Dylan?
core he's ever had.
McLaurin alone. It really is. Like, McLaurin is so.
He might be
good.
the best receiver in the league this year. Like, if Wentz plays well, he could be the best receiver in the league.
I think McLaurin is like the most technically sound receiver in the NFL. Like, the way he can like contort his body to catch passes I think it's better than any other receiver.
I think he's a lot like I think him and AJ Brown are really similar, and that's like they don't make mistakes. They'll run their route. They'll extend plays for you. You just have to have a quarterback, and AJ Brown hasn't really had one, but neither is
So
Terry McLaurin.
that Eagles team had Alshon Jeffrey, Torrey Smith, and Nelson Aguilar.
Oh yeah, Alshon Jeffrey.
That's not good, bro. Aguilar has the worst hands in the world.
No,
Yeah,
I'm not saying that's good. I'm saying like that
like-
the fact that they did what they did with that team.
Yeah.
Like
Wait,
just
that's the
tell
team.
Carson.
Is that the team that beat the Patriots in the
Yeah.
Super Bowl with Nick Foles, bro?
Yeah, that was like a 30 something year old Torrey Smith. He wasn't fast
Yeah.
anymore. And then what's his name? The first receiver you said, I forgot his name already, but he was injured all.
Alshon Jeffrey.
Yeah, he was good, but he was just always injured. So yeah, I mean, maybe Carson Wentz is good. Like, let's hope.
Was he hurt last year at all, or did he play the full year?
At one point, he tried to play with 2 sprained ankles.
I forgot about that.
He sprained one ankle and taped it, went out to play, and sprained the other because he was using it too much, and tried to play the next game. And they were just like, bro, you literally have 2 sprained ankles.
Actually, he played every game though. He played 17 games, but
That's amazing.
How many passing yards did he have?
he had 3,500 passing yards, 27 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions. He actually didn't play bad last year.
Yeah, I like Carson Wentz. He just gets hated on just because like he got cucked at the Eagles by Nick Foles, and like he was never it. Like, and then I'm looking at the stats. He had like obviously the Super Bowl year, but then he was 16 of 15 the next, like 16 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, which is like Jameis Winston numbers.
I mean, like looking at the first 4 years of his career, though, looked really good, and then just that last year was bad.
So are
And
we in
then
agreement? We're winning the NFC East.
The more I look at this, the more I have faith in Carson Wentz. And the thing is, Carson Wentz is actually kind of sneaky fast too. We probably don't want him running very much because he gets hurt a lot, but like he's actually kind of fast.
I think so. Our success or downfall will also depend on if Gibson's bought in, because he was like holding out, not going up to camp, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, I'm at camp," because the guy got his leg shot. And then I'm like, "Are you going to actually be bought in and play like
I think he
well?"
will.
Because he's actually so good. Gibson's really good. We haven't had a passing game to like counteract like the defense is being like, okay, we're just going to stop your run.
I just like I don't know. Is Brian Robinson, like, is he okay? Like, I never figured out even where he got shot.
They said like late November return, not like it wasn't anything serious. It was pretty much like he got shot in his leg and like he can't use his leg. It's like you can't put weight on it type thing, but like not something he's not going to recover from. I think Antonio Gibson's going to grind, because if he plays really well these first couple weeks before Robinson's back, he's still going to be the lead back, and Robinson's going to be there for like if they need him. And then Gibson has one more year after that he'll be on contract, and then it's mega contract year. So he needs to show 2 more good seasons, and he can just be like a $200 million contract anywhere in the league. So he needs this. He needs these 2 years.
Also, Wentz is actually like a leader. Like he's not as like vocal on the field, but he like puts you in your place, like in the locker room and stuff. So,
well, the thing I think about Wentz when I think of like anything outside of football is just that one picture. You all know the picture of him like in the locker room with that weird like you know the picture I'm talking about, right?
I probably do. I can't think of it.
Let me get the picture. Where is
He looks like Prince Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he kind of
I
does.
think he might just be like a wealthy, red-haired white guy though, with a beard.
No, they look very similar.
No way. He actually got this meme off the internet somehow.
Bro, no, it's definitely somewhere. I want to add something also while you're looking for that. Did you guys see that the Commanders hired Ryan Kerrigan as our defensive line coach, which is, I kind of like that.
Did he just retire this year?
Yeah, like we let him go, and then everyone's like, dang, we let him go? Like, how we let Kerrigan go? He was like he's what kept us all together. And then they hired him as our defensive line specialist or defensive line coach. And so I think that's a great move because he raised our young. I saw this meme and it was like Chase Young, Jonathan Allen, I don't know, 2 other guys that we had drafted defensive line, and they were the Ninja Turtles, and Kerrigan was Master Splinter, and he was like retiring, and I was like, that's facts, bro. So I have high hopes that like now they have someone at like one of their peers almost like player coaching them. I think that's going to be really good.
Now our just defensive backs can't just let everything over the middle.
Yeah.
Like, that's actually, yeah, because I mean, we had Kerrigan his entire career. Like,
no, he's gonna be super balled in, and they're gonna listen to him too. They're gonna be like,
that's a great move.
Yeah,
that's a Ron Rivera culture move. We don't make culture moves ever. That's a culture move.
It's very true. Like we don't keep anyone.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the haters corner. This segment is VVS's time to do what he does best: expose people, things, and places, and give them their well-deserved hate. VVS, who should we be hating on this week?
Well, today I actually have a little bit of a switch up. I'm not hating on anyone. I am actually supporting Johnny Dubs, John Wall himself, because he is training with someone who a lot of other people hate on. This guy on Instagram, I think his name is MDW Basketball, and he is like, if you've ever seen a like basketball coach travel bait, like rage bait post, it's him. This guy is the orchestrator of the like technically not a travel dribble move. Like his gather steps last like 3 steps. He's like, gather step on this, and then legal pivot, non-pivot, jump off one, and you have one to land on this leg because you did 2 gather steps. Like this guy is the worst, but he's traded John Wall, and I have faith. I think John Wall is going to come out and have a step back James Harden type new move added to his repertoire, and it's going to absolutely shake the entire league. Kawhi Leonard's going to look, and he's going to like verbally just like explode. You're gonna hear something that you've never heard from Kawhi Leonard before, because Kawhi Leonard doesn't normally speak, but he's gonna see it. He's gonna be like, damn, John Wall. He'll be like, John Wall.
Bro, I think that's a great take on it, and that was a great spin zone because you're a John Wall fan. I think if you weren't a John Wall fan, you would have haters cornered that point guard. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the fact that I think what's really going to happen is John Wall is this guy's going to teach him what's actually legal, that like he like supports them, and like some of them really aren't travels, but they would be called travels, and John Wall's going to learn those moves, do them in the NBA, and then just get thrown out of games because he's going to get double text for like yelling at the refs. It's not a travel. I did a 1-step pivot step reverse layup, and they're like, bro, you look like you took 9 steps. It's a travel. And so it's going to be detrimental at the end. I hope he does not take what that guy told him to heart at all.
Thing is, I have faith that this guy is just using this as bait to get a lot of clout, and he's actually a good trader. And you might call me biased because honestly, I am really pulling for John Wall because he was a Wizards player, and I know that no one on the Wizards will ever be successful. And I have to root for John Wall because now he's paired up with my actual favorite player, Kawhi. So the Clippers are like my pseudo Wizards this year. That's why I'm pulling so hard.
The reason I don't think this guy can help him is if you were trying to improve basketball and you were working on footwork, would you go to that guy? And you had an option, John Wall or that guy, and you're gonna go, oh yeah, this guy knows his stuff. John Wall knows more than this guy about basketball, 100,000%. There's no way he can help him. He just got famous on Instagram for like stupid training videos.
Well, unfortunately, John Wall doesn't have someone like Hakeem Olajuwon for LeBron. You know, there's no like. I don't think there's any like retired point guard that's trying to like do some in-depth training sessions. Like I haven't seen anyone do that. There's
Gary
only,
Payton does it. But
Gary Payton wasn't. They're not the same player.
Yeah,
this guy wasn't a player though, is what I'm
No,
saying.
but I'm
he
saying
doesn't know
like
as much
he
as
wouldn't
any
be-
player.
those moves didn't even exist when they played.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Didn't work with your peers. I don't know. Work with Kawhi. He's got great footwork. I don't think footwork is his problem either. I think John Wall's problem is getting hurt. He needs to work with LeBron.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I also don't think he was actually hurt the last 2 years of this.
Oh yeah, he actually wasn't. They just
He
wouldn't
wasn't
play
hurt
him.
this year. Was he hurt the year before? I don't remember if he was hurt the year before.
Yeah, he was hurt when he got traded to the Rockets, but then he was healthy and they wouldn't play him the next year.
Yeah, they wanted some
Anyway.
picks. So yeah, that's my haters corner. I didn't have anything to hate on because
He wanted us. Your take. You made us hate on your take.
Dang, bro. He
reverse
played a
psychology.
First, like,
Can we talk about, before we close, can we talk about the fact that Ant just said that he thinks Russell Westbrook is going to work out, but every episode that we've had before this, he said the opposite of that?
That was the most confusing thing I've ever heard Ant say.
He didn't even support it.
Ever since I think one of the first conversations I ever had with Ant was him hating on Russell Westbrook. Where did this come from?
He just likes to be different, bro. We all were saying that Russ wasn't going to do well. He had to take the opposite side. I appreciate that's the Stephen A. Smith in him, bro.
I appreciate it, but I cannot believe it. I literally do not believe him.
all right, bet of the week. Over under Ant changing his mind next week. I'm going back to.
Bro, I think that if you're gonna take the opposite side, you gotta at least bring some reason that you think that. All he said was he thinks Russ is gonna shoot well. That's not a good reason. And
that was then
what?
That was then debunked 5 minutes later because he wasn't a good shooter.
And he's the leader of saying that that Russell is a terrible shooter. Every time I say anything about Russ, he's like, he can't shoot. And now all of a sudden he's at 34 or whatever he is. He's just gonna figure out how to shoot. I don't know. I would love if that's true though.
Also, he didn't shoot great on the Wizards. He just did more all around.
Yeah,
he didn't shoot great.
Well, there's never been a point in his career where he shot well. But I mean, and I think it takes more than just one off season to improve shooting. If you look at any shooter that has improved, like LeBron, for example, it wasn't one off season. He improved gradually over 5 years. You don't just magically go from, a 32% 3-point shooter to a 38%. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah. I agree. You guys got anything else? Any other news I missed out on? I just picked some of the topics I wanted to talk about, really.
No, I think that's it. Next week, I'm going to, edit the thing, too, because I feel like I keep up with the NFL a little bit. Well, KC probably does too, but I keep up with the NFL a lot, so I can add some NFL drama. Yeah,
maybe we'll turn Nuketown 24/7 into more just fantasy based / players to look out for / players with good performances / NFL / Commanders talk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have not placed a single bet in 3 weeks.
And Ant told us he quit betting, so you guys are terrible for that segment.
No. I stopped and saved so that when the NFL season starts, I can. Because I was these esports things just were not working out for a little while. So
okay, so you're gonna be back on it.
Oh yeah, I've already qualified on Prize Picks for free bets out the butt. So I'm gonna have so many bets to place.
You heard it here first, guys.
Let's go.
All right. Well, thank y'all for watching and listening. The Third Quarter Warriors are the best team ever, and we are the best podcast ever. New episodes every Monday. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Third Quarter Warriors. Thank y'all for listening. Peace.
Get it.
Welcome to the third quarter, everybody.
What is this? What is going on right now?
I said, what the hell are you talking about?
What's my package look like? Yo!